What's going on, boys? Welcome back to Hyperslop, where today we're breaking up with the finals so we can date their cousin, that cousin being Battlefield 6. I'm just kidding. But yes, this is my first Battlefield video in a hot minute because the Battlefield 6 beta just wrapped up a couple days ago and I got some thoughts and feedback to share. And I'm sure the question on everybody's mind at this point is, Hyper, is Battlefield back? Or at least that's probably what everyone watching this video is wondering. Battlefield is back is a saying that was basically a meme for the past 5 years because of how dog shit the games have been. But as someone who has played thousands of hours of Battlefield over the past decade, even when the games weren't all that great, I can say with full confidence that yes, we might be back. I don't want to say for sure because the full game isn't out yet and this is EA we're talking about. Seriously, stop pre-ordering, guys, or at least wait until like the day before the game launches. Seeing people give $100 to EA because the beta was good is like seeing some poor bastard put $100 on the Cleveland Browns because they scored one touchdown. Like, dog, look at their track record. That being said, yes, the beta was pretty fun, and if the game launches like this, then I think Battlefield fans are going to be eating pretty good this October. And unless DICE makes some completely garbage changes between beta and launch, or the game launches and it's completely broken, I'm most likely going to buy this game day one. And if you want to see my reviews so you can know whether or not the game is worth buying for yourself, be sure to subscribe. But for now, I'm going to get into some of my own feedback for the beta and give my own opinion on some of the things I see a lot of people talking about when it comes to the beta, as well as some of my own wishes and concerns for the future. A lot of this might sound pretty negative, but like I said, for the most part, I did have fun in the beta. They nailed the urban maps, the destruction, and the Battlefield feeling for infantry overall, but I'll glaze the game more when it launches, if the launch is good. But let's get into the feedback, and I'm aware these are probably just beta things, but I gotta mention them anyways, starting with the stuff I didn't see a lot of people mentioning. 1. Sometimes the game would just straight up not let me customize my weapons. I would try to pick an attachment and it would automatically go back to the default, and then I would have to wait until the next match to customize my weapon. Very annoying. Please fix. 2. Sometimes I would matchmake into a match, then just get booted back to the main menu, but the person I was playing with would get booted back to the main menu. Once again, very annoying. Please fix. 3. The M14, which is the default DMR. This shit fucking blows. Even with attachments, firing this thing feels like I'm getting kicked in the face by a fucking mule. So maybe tune down the visual recoil a bit or something. 4. The RPG. It has this weird delay that prevents you from firing the rocket for like a full second after you pull it out. And this isn't an animation thing either. The launcher would be completely shouldered and I still couldn't fire it. Please fix it. 5. Breakthrough on Empire State. This shit is absolute fucking ass cheeks. I actually like the map on Conquest, but yeah, Breakthrough needs a complete adjustment on the map boundaries or something, otherwise I'm just gonna fucking leave the game every time this shit pops up. I also hear that Rush is pretty fucked in this game, which is a real shame because I like Rush, but I didn't play it for myself because I don't fuck with open weapons. We'll talk more about that later though. For now, let's talk about some of the more common criticisms I've been seeing and my own personal opinions on them. Alright, first up, shotguns. I'm not seeing the hype, bro. Throw some tomatoes at me, I don't fucking care, but I think the shotgun is mostly fine. The gun itself shoots a little fast, so maybe just reduce how fast it fires, but I think the biggest reason this weapon is so prevalent isn't because it's overpowered, but because of the assault class being allowed to bring 2 primary weapons, and the fact that 3 out of the 4 maps in this beta are close quarters. I barely saw this shotgun on Liberation Peak, which was the one big map in the beta. Funny how that works out, right? But yeah, give it a rate of fire nerf, remove the weapon sling for assault, and it's fine. You certainly don't have to remove them like I was seeing some people say. Good god, the game isn't even out and we already have fucking sweatlords complaining about people playing something besides ARs and SMGs. But something I do agree with is that a lot of the times it felt like I was dying extremely fast, and it wasn't because of the shotgun. The time to kill in this game is fine, but I had so many instances where I got killed by a gun that should take 5 shots to kill, and it felt like I was one shot because the server registered every single hit at the same time. But as far as I'm aware, DICE is already looking into this. Also, I don't play vehicles a ton, but most vehicle players are of the opinion that the vehicles feel like shit, and I'm inclined to agree. I like the transport buggy, but everything else just feels really sluggish. And yeah, I know a tank isn't gonna be fast, and an attack chopper can't just do instant 180s, but holy shit. My in-game camera moves so much faster than the guns on these vehicles do, at least with the default settings. But like I said, even the people who have figured out how to effectively play the vehicles in this game are still saying they feel like ass, so hopefully DICE is looking into that too. Next up, the server browser. Where's the server browser, DICE? No, custom search is not a replacement, especially since it doesn't even let me search for class lock weapon modes. Maybe they'll add a server browser in the future, but I don't know if they're capable because apparently they hired the same dipshit who makes menus for Call of Duty to make the menus in this game. How does this guy keep getting work? Is he like the gaming industry's biggest nepo baby or something? Seriously, redo the menus, they fucking suck. The next thing I was seeing a lot, especially on fucking Reddit, was that the game felt like Call of Duty. Oh, I'm sorry, this post is 10 years old. But this is still a common criticism I see because, supposedly, the movement is too crazy, the guns have no recoil, and the maps are just ground war maps. All three of these takes are straight dog shit. No, the movement doesn't feel like Call of Duty at all. It has some flexibility like Battlefield 5 did, but if you play Battlefield 5, you would know that the movement there is nothing like a modern Call of Duty game. Hell, during the beta, I think I saw maybe 3 or 4 people who were able to use the movement effectively at like a high level, and I absolutely fucking dunked on a bunch of people who tried jump shotting me around the corner because, as it turns out, jumping in the air like a fucking fairy isn't very effective against a mounted LMG or a high explosive round from an M1 Abrams. As for the guns having no recoil, that's just a straight up fucking lie, at least for me on controller. They absolutely have recoil. If I wasn't mounting the weapon somehow, then I was almost always having to burst fire full auto weapons at longer ranges, so that's a bullshit take. And on the topic of the game feeling like Ground War in Call of Duty, I think you just need to go back and play Ground War and see just how fucking bad that mode is. It's not even comparable to this game. Also, this is a complaint I see a lot from the Call of Duty transplants coming into this game, but no, this game doesn't have Call of Duty style skill-based matchmaking. It does a little bit of team balancing based on skill, but if you're a Call of Duty player, you're not getting shit on because of some extreme form of SBMM. You just suck at the game because you're trying to play Battlefield like it's Call of Duty. But speaking of COD players, one thing I can definitely agree with is that EA and DICE are definitely trying to get some COD players in here. From what I can tell, the game is going to have more diverse maps at launch, but 3 of the 4 maps in the beta being small with a large focus on infantry combat, as well as this game's insistence on keeping all the weapons open to all classes, tells me that they're still a little bit scared to make an actual Battlefield game over at DICE. A lot of people are in the lane of DICE needs to make up their mind between open or closed weapons, but I am firmly in the lane of no open weapons at all. I am a closed weapon extremist, okay? No medics or engineers with snipers, no recon players with SMGs, no son of mine bringing a filthy open weapon supporter into my house. Closed weapons are a core part of the class identity in Battlefield. When you open the weapons up, you end up with Battlefield 2042, where a good quarter of the medics are just using assault rifles and healing themselves, and balancing weapons is a lot harder because everyone can use every weapon. So if something like an LMG is overpowered because assault players keep using them, then you have to ruin that LMG for the support players too. It's a stupid system that should have stayed in 2042 with the fucking specialist. But EA wants to sell skins, so it's obvious that DICE is going to try to push closed weapons to the side like they're already doing by hiding it in the back of the beta menu like it was an adult movie section in the back of a store, which is a real shame. But so long as class lock weapons is an option, that's where you're gonna find me. And if they take it out of the main game, then you'll find me on Portal hosting my own server with closed weapons. Another thing you'll find me doing on that server is banning everyone who shows up with a fucking clown skin. I'm sure the game is going to launch with modest skins, but I'm also giving it about a 50-50 chance that we're going to start getting skins that stick out like a sore thumb because of how fucking goofy they are. If you ask me, this is how DICE should do soldier cosmetics. 1. Remaster the player models from the past Battlefield games set in modern times, and just resell them as throwback skins. It's an easy win. You get us with the nostalgia, and you get money without breaking immersion. They're kind of doing this already with the Battlefield 4 Chinese engineer being something you can currently earn by playing Battlefield 2042. And 2, sell soldier uniform bundles that use uniforms from the armies that make up NATO and Pax Armada. So for example, you could make a NATO German soldier uniform bundle or a Pax Armada South African soldier bundle. And for the most expensive skins, you can do something like a Special Force bundle with skins that stand out just a bit more, like how a Special Forces operator would stand out a bit more among normal soldiers. Also, keep the soldier skins class specific. I don't want to play a fucking guessing game on whether or not the guy I'm shooting at is a medic or engineer because every skin can be equipped to every class. As for the weapon skins, vehicle skins, charms, and stickers, I think the beta rewards and pre-order bonuses got it right. Camos that don't stand out too much, and if it changes the weapon or vehicle model itself, it's not so much that it gets distracting. The stickers and charms are pretty goofy, but those are really small and really only visible to you, so I don't really mind it personally. As long as we don't start getting cosmetics that have neon and fucking lighting effects and stuff like that, I think we're good. But because this game has a free-to-play battle royale on the way, we're probably gonna start getting anime girl gun skins and crossover skins, and the balancing is gonna get all fucked up because a certain weapon or vehicle is overpowered in the battle royale but perfectly fine in the multiplayer. It's gonna be a whole shit show, which is why I still say that you shouldn't pre-order, and even if the launch is good, we need to stay on EA and DICE's ass to make sure they don't fuck up this game a year after launch. Battlefield is on the verge of a comeback, but even if they nailed the launch, we cannot get complacent. DICE and EA say they want to make a classic Battlefield game, so anytime they deviate away from that, we need to hold their feet to the fucking fire. But anyways, thank you guys for watching today's episode of Hyperslop. Like I said, I'm more than likely going to buy this game at launch, so be sure to come back to this channel so you can find out if Battlefield is back, or if we're going to start seeing some massive layoffs over at DICE. And if the game is good, then you can expect Battlefield to become a regular staple of this channel alongside the finals and the occasional random video. The only reason it isn't already is because my only choices are games that are several years old that have millions of videos on them already, or Battlefield 2042, which it's kind of fun sometimes, sure, but not really fun enough for me to want to make content on it. For me to make content on a game, it has to either be really good or so bad that I want to make fun of it. I don't know exactly what kind of content I would be making for Battlefield 6, so if you have any suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We recently hit 5K subscribers, so thank you guys for that. I'm gonna have a more formal 5K subscriber video and announcement in the near future, but for now, I just wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.